Alright, new save. Alright, let's see what I've got to work with. No. Have you ever started a new save, look at your finances, and see that you're already in debt and cannot sign anyone at all before you've even done anything in your save? Well, by listening to this video, you will find some simple tips which will help you sort out your finances so that you can make the signings that you want to make in the future and climb up the league. The first tip I have for players who will need to sort out their finances, such as here when using Manila, you can see we've only got £11,000, but way over the payroll before you've done anything, and there's no transfer budget at all. So firstly, what you're going to want to do is when you're scouting players, so here you go, scouting them in player search, you're going to want to make sure that your players, and you go down into these additional conditions, go to general, and then language spoken. Since I'm using Manila, I'm using Spanish for this, but whatever, say if you're using Boreham Wood from the National League, you're going to want to choose English because they speak English in England. So what this will do is when you sign a player, it'll make sure that they know Spanish or the language you're using. This will help because then you won't have to send your players out on language courses to make them learn the language, which costs up to like 24,500 per language course you send someone on, which can really mess with your finances in the long term. You can also do this with your staff as well, so just you go to staff search. I've already got it on here. Well, actually, no, I don't. General, language spoken, make sure they speak Spanish. However, if it's scouts, you don't need to make them so it's your language. Whether it's something like coaches, it'll help them coach quicker and you don't have to have them on a language course. But say if you want to find a scout, for example, you're going to want to make sure that the scout has knowledge already prior to your coming to your club. Because this will allow your scouts to already have a player base and know some players without having to send them and have a license, such as if you go to scouting here, you've got the recruitment package. You won't have to have that. So if you want to save some money, you can turn recruitment packages off, but no package. So this will make it so you can save your scouting budget, and you'll have scouts which will have more knowledge on players and can use them players instead. Such as if I go to Pedro Breos, he has some knowledge there with Huesca. If I go to Jesus Faber, yeah, you see there, he's got some Wigan knowledge, he's got some private knowledge, he's got knowledge prior, which is why I've set this to age greater than 45, as this means that they must have some knowledge, they've already worked in it. But that applies most of the time. Whereas if I went 30, for example, is at most 30. Oh wait, there's no one there. Let's just say, yeah, 35. Kai Perez. Okay, he has knowledge, that's not a good example. Eneko Perez. He has no knowledge at all, as you can see in the history box at the bottom. So, he won't have any knowledge prior to coming to your club, which means you'd have to use a recruitment package to get anyone at all.
Hello, me again. I realised going back at this now, it was really poorly explained, so I'm just going to summarise it and say a scout with no knowledge will have some knowledge, but it'll be extremely limited compared to a scout who's already working other clubs.
But if you have knowledge, you can turn it off to save some money further. We're also talking about scouting as well. If you really need money, such as here, you can see my payroll budget is minus 866. If you're managing in a lower league, you're only going to have a scouting range in your country itself, which will not take up most of your scouting budget. You can turn this scouting budget, I can't because I've just messed with the payroll budget, but you can change your scouting budget and slide it along to your transfer budget, and then go into this transfer budget and slide that along to your payroll budget, which will allow you to have more money to pay for wages or anything that you need.
Oh, you legend. Who's done that? J-Dub.
Additionally, speaking of payroll, at the side here, if you go to your squad, you can go to your players, and I've sorted mine by contract. So it normally be on like general info, click the custom bit here, the drop down, and press contract and sort it by salary. You can see here, I've got a player called Iker Fernandez, who is being paid $2,400 a week, which is a lot of money. But if I go across the top and press discuss, you can go to advice and advise him to reduce his salary demand. So right now he might not be, but there are some players who will happily reduce their salary demands, so then you can negotiate a new contract with them to lower down their salary, which will allow you to save some more money, which is really helpful if you've got a limited budget or you're starting a negative budget like I am with Manila. Nextly, you can also save money by going back to your squad here. And now, if you've got some players here with potential, you won't want to fire them and get rid of them. Well, not fire them, but release them. But if you change here on the filter from your senior squad to the B team and under 19s, you can see some players you've got in your B team and under 19s, which if you're using a low league team, such as maybe with Manila, or using a team like Maidenhead in the National League, or even further down the English Pyramid or any other league, you can see that they won't have good potential and they won't be great ability either. And you can see that they're taking up contract and your salary as well on a contract. Well, some of these players you can get rid of or sell them. What you want to do is you want to get rid of these youth academy players. You can also go to the back to the senior team and sort it by the salary, where you might see here, well, this isn't a good example because these are on loan, but we might have some players who are on not part-time contracts, but per month contract. You can terminate their contract at any time, and if you do have one of those and they aren't good quality for your team, you can terminate that contract so you can stop paying them every month, which will help your finances even more. Alright, next, what you're going to want to do is save even more money. So say instead of buying players, you don't want to buy them, you want to be using free transfers. And if you don't know how to search free transfers, you're going to go to player search, edit the search, and you'll see contract status here. You're going to want to press expired, which will show only players who do not have a contract, are not at a club, who get them for free. You can also change it to expiring in 6 months' time, which will allow you, say if you're in January and the season ends in June, you'll be able to sign players on a pre-contract. So when we've got 6 months left, you can go to the player and say, sign a contract with them, with you, instead of re-signing us for the club. You can get them in for free as well then. Additionally, you can look for loans, which I prefer to. If you look for loans, you can get much better players in your club who would want to happily go to your club for no money at all. So you can get them, there's teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid and Real Betis. For me, since I'm in Manila, I can get them for no wage at all. I'll show a bit of the screen of my actual Manila save where I've got loads of players in on £0 per week. I'm not paying a single thing for them, which I got from Barcelona. They are good players in the league. You can do this in England as well and go to clubs just like
Man City
and Man United, their youth academies. You can get their players in on loan, which you don't have to pay a single thing for, and you've got a really good player. And this will help you get promoted as well, to get more money as well. The last advice I have for people is go back to your staff again, I know, and go to responsibility. And now, if you press staff, you can see everything your staff can control. Just taking control of hiring and firing of under-19 staff, the B team staff, renewing staff. You're going to want to convert all of these and take control of all of these. Now, the reason why you need to take control of all of these is your staff. Maybe you might have a new coach role open up by your staff, which will go out and say if you're under-19s coaching, you might not have a single under-19s player, but they will still go out and hire an under-19s coach to take up your wage budget and make your finances even worse, and it'll use it up, and you won't even need it. And they'll keep hiring and hiring new staff. So you're going to want to take control of this to stop that from happening. So you've got less finances and money going out of your club on staff you do not need. Turns out I'm just a really stupid idiot and forgot to mention one vital thing. You're going to need to check the league you're in. Just stay with Manila, go to your Manila, then go to the league. You're going to want to go to overview, rules, scroll down to transfer windows and squad registration and the transfer and registration rules, as this may show things like maximum of 20 outfield players, maximum team size of 22 players. If you do not want to have more than those players, if you do have more than 22 players, for example for Manila in your squad, get rid of the worst ones so you have down to 22 players. You free up more contracts to sign and more better players as well. This may also apply in other leagues, such as in England or Scotland, where it may have maximum team sizes or other regulations and rules, which may prevent you from using certain players. And if you do have one of those players, make sure you do sell them as well, so you can free up contracts and maybe get some money for the player as well. Now that is the last main tip in this video for finances. If you would like to see anything else in the future, such as training or contract, make sure to leave that in the comments below, and make sure to do a video on the future. And if you want to see those, make sure you hit that notification bell and subscribe so you won't miss out on those in the future, so I can help you further in the future. And additionally, if you have more finance information which you can leave and which can be shared to people which isn't in this video, make sure to leave that in the comments below so others can read that. I may make a pinned comment at the top which will have a list of loads of finance information on the game which people have commented, and I'll put that in a pinned comment as well. And also make sure to heart the comments which post them as well. But for this video, that's the end, and I hope to see you again in the future videos. Bye!